So in the next day or so, we're looking at potential public safety power shutoff initiated by PG&E, and that's a result of what our expected winds and fire weather looks like over the next couple of days. As you know, we're moving into a red flag warning today. Looks like this event will have two components to it, one through Monday night and then again potentially on Tuesday. So as a local public official, I'm coordinating with PG&E on a regular basis. I had a conference call with them this afternoon at noon. We'll do it again this evening, and we'll continue those efforts until we get to the actual event, and they'll keep us posted on things as they change. For me, it's my responsibility to make sure that our community is notified and is well prepared. And we've been working on that for quite some time. We've been messaging out to our community, certainly from the last event, about the things that they need to have prepared in advance, such as, medications and recognizing that power is not going to be available. And really the best answer is to just simply leave to another area that's not affected if you have that opportunity. But many of our folks aren't able to do so. So in that, we want to make sure that they've got plenty of food and water to get them through this period of time. And what's interesting is that it's not the actual allocated time for the wind or red flag event. It's what happens with PG&E is they disconnect the high transmission lines, and then at that point they now are obligated to inspect all of those lines and then inspect the rest of the system before they re-energize the system. So that's what takes time. And as I indicated, as we talk about this event that happens on Monday, they're projecting a 24 to 48 hour re-energizing time frame. However, if it moves into Tuesday, well, that will push us back another 24 to 48 hours. So potentially my community could be affected for until Thursday, and that's a significant period of time. And so one of the good things about PG&E is that trying to get in front of it, as we did in the last event, this particular time there will be a customer care center set up by hosted by PG&E, and that will be available during daylight hours to assist with any of their customer needs and those kind of things. I have been given some maps to take a look at to ensure the areas that are affected. It does appear as though the city of Auburn and surrounding areas will be affected. But I will tell the folks that are in this area to continue to check PG&E's website, because putting in their address is a much more pinpoint or accurate way to determine whether they're going to be affected or not, because the transmission lines vary depending on what area you're in. And so I think that's my best advice, is just to be prepared, have a plan. And certainly I'm concerned about, ignition sources. So I don't want our community doing things that potentially could create a fire situation on a red flag day, such as, using mechanical equipment to clear, brush or grasses. We don't want people out smoking and discarding their cigarettes, all of the kind of things that we message out regularly. So those are the big things that I'm concerned about.
Anything that your team is doing actively to prepare for something like this?
Certainly. So we've been preparing for quite some time. As I said, my team, we just released a wildland urban interface strategic plan for our specific to our community, and in that we allocate many objectives that we're trying to accomplish, both with preventative measures, both with education measures. We're on Monday night, we'll be going in front of the council to be able to approve some language to tighten our requirements and ordinances for construction, new construction, so that we can prevent and use home hardening concepts. So those are the kind of things that we've been working on for quite some time. We regularly communicate out to our community about our efforts, so that our community stays engaged with us, so that when we have an event like this, they can simply look at any of our messaging to get that good quality information that they need. In addition to that, just on the 30th of last month, we were fortunate enough to be able to staff up a second piece of apparatus with additional staffing. So that has helped the city and provided a higher level of protection on a go forward. So those are the kind of things that we've been doing.
Whenever we get close to these red flag days, how does it start to make you feel as a fire chief?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I'm always nervous when we get into red flag days. As we know, all of these destructive fires that we've seen are directly related to the weather patterns, and that has been going on for the last 5 years. So I continue to tell my community, hey, you need to pay attention when we come into a red flag. It's not okay to just, you know, close your windows and not be paying attention to the media outlets or to our digital platforms, but you need to pay attention to what's happening in the community, because early notification is key when we do have an event, particularly like a wildfire. And so what I tell people is, hey, when you come home, you know, back your car into your driveway, close your drapes, have your personal materials, your insurance, your medications, all those things ready to go should we have an event where we have to actually evacuate. So those are the kind of things that we've been working hard with our community about.
Unfortunately, Auburn hasn't had to go through that, at least in recent years.
That's correct. As you know, the city of Auburn sits on the American River Canyon, and we are exposed to a tremendous threat and fire risk. And so since I've been here as the fire chief, I've been working hard to try to reduce that risk. And there's no one single solution. PG&E efforts are certainly a part of that process, but that's just one answer to a very complicated problem. We're continuing to work on brush clearing and reducing the fuel load. So those are the kind of things that we are trying to be proactive with to try to reduce our risk.